Yes, people, hope you're well. Welcome back to the Sanderson Show. Please do smash that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Some interesting subjects, and Happy New Year if I've not spoken to any of you guys and you're in the chat as well. Jake Paul teases making his MMA debut in PFL in 2025. Colby Covington eyes a move to 185 to fight a particular fighter in that weight division. Logan Paul and Conor McGregor's boxing match in India seems to be getting closer and closer. And Ankalaev is next for the title shot if his manager is to be believed. Let's start off with the first topic, and that is Jake Paul. The guy can't stay out of the news, and that's the way he likes it, to be fair. He is someone who prides himself on making headlines, staying in the headlines and staying relevant. And he does that better than most people do, to be honest. Got to give it up for him. That being said, he has teased a potential debut with fighting in MMA and for the PFL. We all know he signed with the PFL a couple of years back with the view to helping them boost their brand, but also with the view of them having him fight under the promotion as well. Now, when it first happened, rumors were swirling around that he'd fight Francis Ngannou. Jake Paul's not stupid. He's not fighting Francis Ngannou because he knows how that ends. It ends in a devastating knockout loss. However, he does seem keen on the idea. Look, we've seen boxers do this before. Famously, Floyd Mayweather was in a cage talking about him fighting in MMA, and he was just trolling everyone. A lot of boxers say they'd fight in MMA, and very few actually do. Jake Paul is someone, though, who I've learned that the more you seem to doubt, the more he seems to thrive. I'm not saying he's going to do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did actually compete in MMA and for the PFL. And when you're thinking about potential opponents, surely it's Nate Diaz, right? They've spoken about it. They fought in boxing where Jake Paul got the win. Surely Nate makes the most sense. Now, obviously, Nate has MMA skills that Jake would only be able to dream about, such as jiu-jitsu and things like that. However, you look at Nate, he's predominantly a boxer when he's in there, and he usually gets a lot of his submissions because people try and take him down, and then he ends up getting on top or taking position and getting the submission win. He's relentless in that cage, and he usually overwhelms fighters to the point where they can't breathe, so they try and go for takedowns. We saw it with Conor McGregor in their first fight. Conor was getting pieced up, tried to take him down. Next thing you know, Nate's on top, choking you out. We saw it with Leon. Leon evaded Nate when he got hurt because he thought about that Conor fight and said, I'm not going to grapple with him because he might tap me out while I'm feeling groggy. So Jake Paul knows that there's a puncher's chance against Nate Diaz in MMA. Jake Paul, from what I've read as well, is meant to be an okay wrestler. Nothing to the level that Diaz would have fought, but he's meant to be an okay wrestler. So if you've got a base of wrestling, and obviously we've seen he can throw hands, he may fancy his chances against Nate. Nate's not a takedown artist. Nate is not someone who's going to do the whole ground and pound. He wants to stand up with you, and he wants to beat you on the feet. And look, it could be a favorable matchup for Jake. Nate's not under contract with the UFC anymore. He can sign a one-fight deal with PFL potentially, or even a two-fight deal with PFL, and he could make a lot of money in PFL fighting Jake Paul. So I wouldn't be surprised if that fight happened this year. And if it does, you know, I'll be tuning into it, guys, because it's what we do. So we will see what happens there. Relating to someone who is definitely in MMA, and that is Colby Chaos Covington. Closed out the year with a bad loss against Joaquin Buckley. He was getting pieced up, and then doctors stopped it. Personally, I think doctors actually saved him. I think he was going through that fight, going through the motions. I think he would have ultimately been stopped in that fight if he didn't have the doctor stoppage awarded to Joaquin Buckley. I mean, he's come out now saying that he's eyeing a move to 185. He believes he could do well then. He'd like to fight Sean Strickland. He says he doesn't see anything special in Sean Strickland. In fact, he just sees a cardio kickboxer. I mean, yeah, it's hard to take Colby's words seriously anymore, if I'm going to be honest. That's just me being honest. It's hard to take his words at face value and hard to take him serious because He's done more talking than he's done fighting recently. And when he has fought, he's not showed up. He got beaten convincingly by Leon Edwards and been beaten convincingly by Joaquin Buckley now. And now he's talking about moving up to fight Sean Strickland, who's one of the best in the world at 85. It makes no sense. Now, Colby could be looking at Strickland and go, well, look, I know he's not got great takedown defense and I could just wrestle him. But ultimately, Strickland is the bigger man. If anyone can out-cardio Colby, it's probably Strickland as well. I don't see a world where that fight happens, and I definitely don't see a world where Colby beats Strickland. Strickland's a much bigger guy, and Colby's not even a big 70-pounder either. Colby's quite a small 70-pounder. Colby's someone who could probably fight at 65 if they had the weight division. Him calling out Strickland, yeah, it makes good for headlines and stuff, but at this point, is that what Colby is now? Is he just a guy chasing headlines? Is he a guy just chasing some clout? Because this was one of the best guys in the world at fighting at one point, and he seems a shadow of that person. So what is he still fighting for? Is he still fighting for money because he tells everyone he's one of the richest on the roster? Is he fighting for legacy? Because, I mean, he's never won a belt, and even though you could argue neither as Poirier and Gaethje, they've always been in exciting fights, and they fought everyone who'd been put in front of them. Colby hasn't. Colby's openly ducked Ian Gary. Colby waited for Woodley to be on the decline before he fought him. Colby's picked and chosen his opponents. I don't get the shtick anymore. I don't get the gimmick anymore. I think he's become his gimmick. And that's dangerous territory. I don't see a world where he fights Sean Strickland. I don't see a world where Strickland even takes that fight. Strickland's going to be fighting for the title soon. Once he fights for the title, he's either going to be the new middleweight champion of the world, or he'll be number one ranked in the division. Why would he give Colby Covington a chance to fight him? Unless he just wants a big payday. And let's be honest, the press conference might be fascinating for that. But I think the fight goes very easy for Sean Strickland. I think he stuffs Colby's takedowns, walks him down, and ultimately stops Colby. So we'll see what happens there. Colby moves to 85, guys. Let me know who you'd like to see him fight. Me personally, I wouldn't be all right. I'd be all right with Colby retiring now. Don't think there's anything else for him to do, personally. Ankalaev and Pereira. Pereira came out and recently said, look, my next fight is all sorted, but it won't be Ankalaev. That sent the media world and us combat fans into a frenzy, thinking, who on earth is it going to be? Because we're not expecting to be Aspinall, because we've been told that there's negotiations between Jones and the UFC regarding Aspinall. Who else is going to fight heavyweight? He's going to fight Cyril Gane, maybe. I don't see a world where Gane takes that fight, though. At 85, he's pretty much clean out the division. Sorry, at 205, he's pretty much clean out the division apart from Ankalaev, so he's not going to fight anyone else. For me, Ankalaev's managers come out and sort of rubbish those rumors. It has to be Ankalaev. Look, I love Pereira, and Pereira is probably the biggest star in MMA as of right now. If he doesn't take this Ankalaev fight, who doesn't fight Ankalaev next, you have to call it what it is. He's ducking him. And I don't have Alex Pereira down as a duck. In fact, quite the opposite. He'll step in there and he'll fight anyone. And he's shown it numerous times, whether it be short notice, with injuries, healthy or not. Alex Pereira is that guy. Alex Pereira was the guy that saved 2024 for the UFC. Let's just call it what it is. He saved 2024. UFC 300, 303, and was it 308, I believe? He saved the organization. He made the organization talk of the town. He got knockout wins or stoppages in all three of those fights against tough opposition. I don't see a world where Alex Pereira doesn't fight Ankalaev next, because it would affect his legacy, it would tarnish his legacy. If he goes out there and beats Ankalaev, no one can question that, his legacy or anything. There's an argument to say you can't really argue and question his legacy right now, but you can, because the Ankalaev one's still there. But again, I keep on stressing this. Ankalaev is not a special wrestler. He's a good wrestler. But he's more of a stand-up artist. Hence why he keeps on saying that I'm going to stand with Pereira. He's not a takedown artist. He's not a wrestler. He has good wrestling skills. He's not a wrestler, though. So, yeah, we'll see there. I expect that fight to be made soon, and I expect Alex Pereira to defend his belt against Ankalaev and win that fight. Finally, on to what will be the most lucrative fight in boxing history. I reported this maybe about a week ago, spoke about this. Logan Paul and Conor McGregor, both looking like they're going to be fighting each other in boxing in India for a reported $250 million each, with the winner getting a $1 billion bonus potentially as well. Crazy money. But if it can be pulled off, if any two quote unquote combat fighters can pull this off, it is Logan Paul and Conor McGregor. They're two of the biggest names in combat sport outside of Mayweather and Jake Paul. Arguably the two biggest, along with Canelo as well, I suppose. If this fight happens for that sort of money, Conor has to take the fight, Paul has to take the fight. It's just, what does that do long term for more so Conor McGregor? I don't think Logan Paul long term has anything to worry about. He will continue to fight, continue to be a WWE superstar wrestler and probably dabble in combat sports now and again. Combat is what Conor's life was or should be. I'll be honest with you, big up Craig in the chat. If Conor takes this fight, he's done. He's not fighting again. 250 mil. That would be more than he's made in his entire UFC career, in my opinion. 250 mil. And then if he gets the bonus for winning as well. Alex, big up Alex. I think Logan Paul's retired from WWE. Is he actually retired already? I don't think I know he's part-time now. I don't think he's actually retired. If he has, then oh wow, he announced. Fair enough. I must have missed that. I mean, he had a good run while it lasted, won a championship belt. Fair dues to him, man. Fair dues. Fair dues to Logan Paul. But yeah, if they both take this fight, they're done. Especially Conor. Conor's done. Why break your body down and put your body through so much stress and pain when you're never going to get that payday again, potentially? For me, it doesn't make sense. But stranger things have happened. We will see. I think Conor just needs to sort himself out. The allegation's still there. Well, not even allegation. What he's been found guilty for in a civil trial is still there. Will always be around him. Maybe he needs this fight. Maybe he goes out there and puts on a hell of a performance against Logan Paul. And unfortunately, how life is, some people will actually forget about the charges he's had put against him and what he's been found guilty of, and they'll start clamoring for him to be in the octagon. Me personally, I don't know how I feel about him fighting again with the decision that was made. If it goes to a retrial or they appeal it and it's found that, you know, he didn't do what he did, then I'll hold my hands up and say, yeah, cool, you've been found not guilty now. But yeah, as of right now, if you've been found guilty of that, I don't even know if I really want to support a Conor fight at the moment, man. I think it'd probably be better staying out of the limelight. But at the same time, if he's fighting in India, completely different market, plus the money as well. So it'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting. We will see. But people should be back tomorrow night with Combat Catch Up. I haven't caught up with Luke and Jay for a while on this channel, so it should be nice to get back to some familiarity and some continuity on this channel. So if you haven't already, guys, please do smash that like button. On the road to 4,000 subs, so please do help with getting there. I'd be very appreciative if you could subscribe, people. So that is it for MMA Monday Live. Thanks for watching. Before you go, please make sure you subscribe to the Sanderson Show. Take it easy, everyone. Have a good one and see you soon.